Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Kevin?
Chilling. How's life?
It's pretty good, pretty good. Hey, man, I want to take the time to say thank you, especially after training. I know, like, right now, all that's on your mind is to, like, get some food or something like that. So for you to take some time for you to do this interview, it means a lot, man. So thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, man. So, uh, everyone start like I've seen like your other interviews. Every other interview starts with like your UFC debut and all that. But like, I kind of
Yeah,
want to take it back all the way to the start. So.
let's go.
What made you want to get into mixed martial arts, and then what made you want to pursue it as a career?
So, man, I think it probably all started with Three Little Ninjas.
Yeah,
I used to love that movie, and then Ninja Turtles, and everything. I don't know. As soon as I saw a ninja movie, all I wanted to do was be a ninja. And then somewhere along the way, I realized that there was no way I'm quiet enough to be a ninja.
Mhm.
So, so I don't know, man. I started wrestling in high school and kind of started street fighting here and there, and then that became backyard boxing. And somewhere about 15, 16, I knew that there was something called ultimate fighting, but I'd never seen an MMA fight or anything. I just knew so everything, and I like decided. I remember like being 16 and like having a conversation with my friend about, the only thing I came into this world with were my hands, and I wanted to use them. And so being a professional fighter is the only thing I've ever wanted to do.
And how'd your boy take it though? Like when you told him, you're like, yeah, I want to become a UFC fighter one day. Was he like one of those like supportive boys, be like, hey man, do you think all your dreams, or
Yeah.
was he like one of those like naysayers that's like, hey man, I
Well,
don't think you should get into this?
yeah. Well, I definitely wasn't like I want to be a UFC fighter because I didn't even know what that was. I
Hmm.
just, yeah. I was just talking about being a pro fighter, and I didn't necessarily know. I could have done boxing or whatever. I wasn't sure. I just knew that I wanted to scrap. And yeah, he'd seen me fight plenty, so he was supportive. You know what I mean? Like uh, all of my friends in high school kind of have always expected this. Apparently, all I've done is wanted to fight, start fights. I've always fought. So
That's
here we
awesome.
are.
And then especially when it came up to your first fight, I mean, you had a couple amateur fights before your pro career. So your first
Yeah, I had
amateur
20.
fight,
I had 20 amateur fights.
that's insane. That really is
So
insane.
so I won them all too.
Oh, there you go, bro.
So how did I get my first amateur fight?
Mhm.
I was working. I was AA 20. I just turned 20 years old like a couple weeks before. I was working at a gas station, like right in front of my house that I grew up on. And this kid that I got in a fight with in high school uh, came in at like 3 in the morning talking about how he was a cage fighter now and he just had a fight in Kansas City and he was a badass. And I'm like, well, fuck, if you're a fighter, then I'm a fighter.
Yeah.
And I asked him if he could get me a fight, and he said yeah. So I had my first fight a week later. I like quit smoking cigarettes that night. I quit smoking cigarettes. I
Uh-huh.
used to I only smoked for like a year or something, but like immediately quit smoking cigarettes. Had a fight the next week, like a TKO in like a minute. Some reporter wrote article and said all you could see was hands and hair, uh, you know. And yeah, man. And then so 14 months later, I was 20-0 as an amateur and turned pro.
Oh, that's insane. That's it. 20 fights, man.
Yeah,
That's
I did in 14 months. Like I just did it every weekend, and that was the Wild Wild West when you'd show up and not have a fight, and then they need somebody, and you'd be like, "Well, I got gloves, let's go." So I
yeah,
mean,
no. And I mean, like you said, I mean, you've been at it for a long time, 13 years, like you said in the press conference. So fast forward to, a couple of fights, you have your ups and downs, and then instead that you are on a 4-fight winning streak. So you get a call from the UFC. And how was that like? So talk to me from when you get that call and then, till eventually your UFC debut.
yeah. So I was on a 3-fight win streak
Hmm.
before
Hmm.
before the UFC. Uh, we knew it was coming. I've been training like a madman for like the last year, like just on another level, just knowing it was about to come. And so like when the summer hit, I was just kind of like, all right, when's it getting here? And so I mean, I knew I ended up getting that fight for FAC. It was going to be on UFC Fight Pass. Like I knew the UFC brass would be watching, and it was a title fight. It was a big deal. So you know, what I mean, I just wanted to go out there and show what I could do, and won that fight. And then I ended up like the next week, I got a call at like 5:30 in the morning, and my manager asked me how it felt to be a UFC fighter, and so I like freaked out, fucking screamed. You
I
know,
can only
cursed
imagine. It's just like a
a whole
range
bunch.
of emotions, right?
So that day was actually my 13th year anniversary for my first fight.
That's
So,
awesome.
so that happened. And then that's the Alex Caceres fight. I got signed to fight Alex Caceres on 4 days' notice. I went out there, ended up testing positive for COVID, got released from the UFC in like 24 hours, whole roller coaster ride of emotion. But I knew I was still on the name. I knew it was about to happen. So I just went right back to after quarantining myself. I just went right back to the gym and just, you know, kept the fire. I knew it was about to come. I was doing medicals to get cleared for the UFC the day that I got the call, actually, and I was pulling into a doctor's office, and my manager was just like, "Yeah, like we have to leave immediately after this medical is done and go home. We got to get you on a plane." So, I mean, that was awesome, but like I just experienced all this, so it wasn't even a big deal. I still didn't even know if it was going to happen. Whatever. Went home, rushed, packed my bag in like 3 minutes, rushed to the airport, got to the airport barely in time to make the flight. Got there, found my coach, sat down next to him, and then asked him who I was fighting. Like, it didn't matter, you know. And that's it. It was cool. I feel like I used the negative situation to my advantage. Obviously, the whole getting signed, getting released, man, it was an emotional roller coaster, and it was really rough. But I decided to make the best out of that, and I think I really did.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. And like I can only imagine though, like you said, like the range of emotions, especially when you find out that you test positive for corona. And then like you said, like
And
in
I
your
feel
previous
great.
yeah,
I have no symptoms. Everything's perfect, you know.
it was just one of those weird things that you're just there like, dude, like
And I
why
mean,
is this happening? Like what?
and so I told myself, I
Mhm.
fucking told myself that like, all right, and so I knew that Alex Caceres, that's a beautiful fight for me. I love that.
Mhm.
And so I told myself that whatever happens is about to be better, because like and I couldn't see it. I had no idea, and I like remember thinking like, all right, so who's a better fight than Caceres? Like it's about to be better, and day and a half notice, a weight class up. Like, I mean, that couldn't be any better. But I called this shit. I knew it was gonna be
Yeah.
better. So yeah,
It,
man. I mean, I'm excited.
that's awesome, right? I mean, like, hey, man, at least you didn't have to cut like any weight. I'm guessing, right? Because you normally fight at
Yeah,
featherweight, right?
yeah. I woke up that day after pigging out on sushi the night before
There
at
you go.
58. So I mean, I just stepped in the tub for like 20 minutes, and then I was 2 pounds under. Like, so no problem.
There you go. And then the fight. I mean, obviously that there's not much to talk about, but talk to me through your emotions. You're walking through that cage. You're looking at Roosevelt Roberts right across that cage. What's going in your mind? Like in your mind, is it just kind of like, yo, I'm gonna beat this guy in 30 seconds, or you're just
Ah,
expecting
man.
like a long
So
guy?
so like above and beyond that, like I cornered Grant Dawson for his third UFC fight. It was in Virginia, and that was the first time Bruce Buffer had announced him.
Hmm.
And I remember sitting in his corner and watching him while he was being announced, and he was just like so present and just enjoying the moment so much. And I remember just thinking, man, this motherfucker's so cool. Like, I'm trying to be like that, you know? And so I didn't even realize. I get to the cage, I walk out, I come out to What a Wonderful World, which, I mean, that's how I feel, man.
That's a
What a
great
wonderful
song.
world. What a
Yeah.
wonderful world, you know? Get in the cage, And then I realized, oh shit, that's Bruce Buffer. Oh shit, you know. And so gave him a fist bump. Just really enjoyed that. And then stepped back, kind of closed my eyes, refocused, and then it's game on. And what was I thinking? I wasn't thinking anything, man. I try to keep my brain out of it. I've done all of the thinking. I spend so much time in the gym. My body knows what to do. So, man, I mean, I kind of just try to not think about anything, you know? And, I mean, no, I wasn't expecting it to happen like that, but fuck, man. I've worked, 15 years. I've 15 years of training with wrestling, so I mean, I've worked 15 years to make that moment happen. And, man,
I mean,
I
it's
can't
been like what,
describe how
week and a
amazing
half?
it is.
And like,
Words don't do it justice,
yeah. I mean, it's awesome too, especially seeing like someone like realize their dream, because you normally see those stories of like, people usually achieve their dreams like real early on and like they've never gone through like that grind. But for you to go and achieve your dreams after 13, 14 years in the sport is insane.
The roughest sport there is.
Yeah.
The ups and downs. Look at my record. Like, I started out basically 5-5. I mean, yeah, man, this fucking hard work pays off, baby. Let's go.
Oh, definitely, man. And dude, that was a vicious guillotine. Like, I was watching that like live, and I'm just there like, dude, this dude's neck is about to get like detached from his head. But yeah, you win, and then next to that, like you go to your coaches, you go to James Krause and then Grant Dawson, and then even the commentators, like they were speaking on your face. You just look like in disbelief. You're just like, oh my god, is this really happening? Was that what was going through your mind there, or it was kind of like?
No, it wasn't disbelief, but the killer wasn't done yet. You know what I mean? Like, I was still in war mode, and so it was just me and James, and it was just a eye to eye, like, me mug kind of, like the killer's not done yet. And then after a little bit, the killer was like, okay, my job's done. And then it hit me, and then I screamed and everything. But like, yeah, for a little bit, it's just like I was still ready to work. Like, I'm looking at James, and I'm like, with my eyes asking, who the fuck's next? Let's fucking go. Yeah, and they're all talking disbelief. Nah, I fucking knew.
Yeah, and then that's awesome too, because it's like that's like the prime example of like when they're talking about like when fighters go in there, they turn on that switch. It's either on and off and on and off. And
James told me probably 4 times that I needed to hit the switch. And I'm like, motherfucker, the switch is on. Don't worry. Don't worry. I needed to turn the motherfucker off.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. And then instead of that, you go backstage, you do your press conference, and I don't know how it is like in the smaller circuits. So for you to go into a press conference and you see like a line of reporters just wanted like to ask you questions and this and that, how did that feel? Because I remember like there was even a point in the press conference that like you're holding the mic a little too high, then someone for the UFC brass had to tell you like, hey, lower your hand a little bit, calm down.
I said, don't worry, I'll get used to holding microphones.
Yeah. And then that's when you find out that you're getting your the 50 G's from Dana. So like, dude, from having only $64 in your bank account, like you tweeted out right before that,
bro, like before I left, I didn't have I knew that I wasn't gonna have money to pay my parking. Like,
wow.
I'm like, all right, like I won't have on return if this doesn't work out. I will have to use the credit card to pay my parking. Like, my parking was like $69 and I had $64. You know what I mean? So like I knew like this, this shit has to work,
Dude, that really is awesome, man. That's like, but what people say, that's rolling the dice, man. You rolled the dice, man. You rolled the dice and you won big. Yeah.
I've been rolling the dice, and fuck, man, it really paid off finally.
That's awesome, dude. And then, in the press conference, you asked for your next fight. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Grant? How you doing?
My man. What's up, baby? This guy's a G.
Yeah, he is, dude. That's awesome.
Go. I'm just trying to be like him.
You guys are awesome.
And him.
Hey, was that James Krause that just walked?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a busy dude. I see him. He's on the phone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And then I said you asked for that Alex Caceres fight again. So is that who you still want, or at this point you're just like whoever the UFC puts in front of you, your game?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we're about to have a conversation about kind of what's next. We need to figure out what weight class I'm trying to fight in. probably going to go down to bantamweight. I'm not sure. Yes, I do want that fight. If I do go down to bantamweight, I'm still down to take short notice, 45 fights, no problem. Whatever, man. I'm going to do whatever James Krause says till the day I die, 100%. He got me here. I will listen to anything that man says. So whatever he says, you know?
That's awesome, bro. All right, man. And then,
But yeah, I love that fight. That's a great fight. The fans win. The fans win in that fight.
100%.
Our personalities, not only do our fighting styles play well with each other, our personalities will go like that's a fight for the fans for sure. So that is definitely something I'm looking for. You know, but I'm also trying to make some easy money, so we'll see.
Yes, sir. But like you said, that would be a great fight. Two ninjas going against each other.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. All right, man. Then just a couple more things. So, I kind of changing track here. So, big UFC fight going on this Saturday. Adesanya Costa. I don't know if you want to make any predictions, but how do you think that's going to go down? Like, it's a crazy fight. And then you have the Reyes and Blachowicz fight right after, too.
For sure, man. It is crazy. I'm like an Izzy fan, and like I want him to kind of be Superman for a little bit. Personally, I think he's awesome. I think he's good for the sport. I mean, he's an amazing fighter. So personally, I want him to be Superman. I want him to go out there and just fucking wreck him and have us all in disbelief. Oh my God, I can't believe he is the man. You know. But I mean, of course, it's gonna be a good fight. I'm excited, but I'm hoping Izzy TKOs him or knocks him out. You know, clean.
And then that Reyes and Blachowicz fight, man. What do you think about that one? Who do you think is gonna be the new light heavyweight champion of the world? Because John Jones was on that for what a good while, and then you had DC
forever.
John Jones.
Forever. Yeah. Man, that's gonna be a really interesting one. I think that Jan can Jan, right? Isn't it?
Jan Blachowicz,
yeah. I mean, he has obviously. I mean, of course, they both have the power to put each other away. But I think, I mean, if Jan catches him early, it's a completely different fight. Reyes showed, I mean, how good he is and how technically he could be for 5 rounds. You know, so I don't know. I would say for that one, the longer it goes, the more Reyes has. I think with having a 5-round title fight versus John Jones, like he just learned so much. I know personally for myself, I just had a 5-round title fight, not against John Jones, in August 14th, and I learned so much, and I really was able to come out and use what I learned in my last fight. So even though it was only 30 seconds, I can see like I unlocked some levels, and I would imagine that happened to him too. I imagine that Reyes is not a new fighter, but I would guess that he learned a lot and he'll be able to implement that. So I would say the longer the fight goes, probably the better chance Reyes has of winning. But I mean, they both had the power. Who knows? You know?
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. And then, yeah, man, just one last thing. All right. So someone's on YouTube and then, you know, they're trying to achieve their dreams and then they're watching this interview, right? And they're going to just catch a little thing of what you said. You achieved your dreams. You made it to the UFC. So if you had to give a piece of advice to whoever's following their dreams on what to do, what would that be? Not to get too deep on you here, but
yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, keep working and fucking don't ask people for advice. You know what I mean? Like, you know how many people have hit me up already and asked me to give them some inspiration? Like, if you're into what you're into, there ain't nothing I could say that's gonna stop you. There's nothing that I can say that's gonna help you. Keep fucking trying. You know what I mean? Like, everybody these days, like, I feel like most people these days just don't have any balls, and they're not tough, and they're so ready to give up, and they're like want outside validation, like all this Facebook bullshit, all these likes. You know, it's like, hello.
Yeah, you're still there, brother. Yeah.
You know, all this bullshit is like everybody's like trying to feed, like, so they can make themselves feel better. Like, fuck that. Like, whatever I have to say, if what you want to do is your dream, ain't nothing I can say to change that or even help that. Keep fucking trying, put in the work. You know, like, show up every fucking day. Show up every fucking day, no matter what anybody says, and eventually you'll break through. And fucking don't, you know?
Yeah, sir, man.
That's what I got to say.
Beautifully said. And honestly, 100% truth, man. So you know, for me, my dream is to cover your sport, cover the stars, the men and women of your sport, and hopefully one day I can be there covering you guys from the octagon. So
Fuck yeah.
yes,
Keep
sir,
going,
man.
man. Keep
Yeah.
going. And that's how it's done. You just take one step and you just don't fucking stop. Even though you feel like it. You know how many times I felt like it? I've quit for 5 minutes about 3 times in my career. You know what I mean? But I was back after 6 minutes. You know? And like that's what it's about. It's okay to fucking feel like I can't do this. I don't know, maybe I should quit. Like that's okay. It's the thing is after that 5 minutes of you quitting is over, you're fucking back at it, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And man, beautifully said. So, I mean, that's all I have for you today. So hopefully we can reconnect in the future, you know, in your
Let's
future
go.
fights and all.
Let's go, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir,
All
brother.
right.
So,
All
hey,
right.
man,
Thank you.
have a good one and good luck on your next few fights, brother. I
Hell
love
yeah,
you,
man.
man.
I
See you,
appreciate you.
brother.
Thank you. Heck
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Bye.
See you, man.